Hey guys, it's Jade from Boho Bookworm. Today I'm bringing you my Friday Reads video and a bit more of a vloggy style video just because I don't have time to edit it. Mark and I are going to be going to the Gold Coast this weekend for some camping and to see his family, so I'm going to be reading some books, listening to some crime podcasts along the way, so I thought I'd share them with you today. The first book that I want to talk to you about is one that I'm currently reading and loving called Don't Believe It by Charlie Donlea. This is a book about a documentary featuring around crime, like true crime stories. So this woman that runs the show opens up old cases, brings new evidence to the cases, and tries to find out what really happened to them so long ago. So this girl called Grace, she was at a wedding in St. Lucia with her boyfriend and he got murdered. And so she spent the last 10 years in jail for his murder, but she's now reached out to the show to say that she didn't kill him, please reopen it and put me on your TV show because I'm innocent. So this woman starts to do this show and it's brilliant because this book is kind of told in parts from the characters, but also you read the episodes as they go. So you get the pilot in episode 1 and episode 2, and it's really interesting. I like the way that it's set out, and I've been really obsessed and getting really into crime podcasts lately and true crime case files and stuff. So this has been a really interesting read for me so far. I'm also busy listening on Audible to A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay, which is similar to The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty, but it's a bit more modern. This is about a family whose 14-year-old daughter gets possessed, or she's getting acute symptoms of schizophrenia, and there's a priest that thinks that she's possessed. So because the family are going through a really difficult time financially, they agree to have the exorcism documented. So it's all about the family getting documented during this pretty creepy time in their life, and it's really fun. I'm connecting to the story and to Paul Tremblay's writing a lot more than I was with William Peter Blatty's writing. But also that's because of the scary comedy movie that ripped off The Exorcist so much. But it's quite funny unintentionally that I'm busy reading 2 books about true crime kind of things, which are like documentaries and true crime and stuff. It's a little bit confusing at times, but I'm really enjoying it. But another thing that I wanted to bring up in this video was horror versus thriller and what I think, because although I'm still very new to the horror genre, I've been really getting into Books in the Freezer podcast, which recommends some horror books. And I love getting frights, I love getting spooked out, but I've realised over the past while, I've read It by Stephen King, I read a few of Shirley Jackson's books, I've read The Exorcist, and now I'm reading A Head Full of Ghosts by Paul Tremblay. I don't get scared by horror, and that's very similar to Devon from the Indian Insomniac. He says that what he finds so fascinating about horror is that he doesn't get scared, and that's why he continues reading them, because he wants to find that scare and he finds it fascinating too. But I don't know, I think I want to like horror, I do. I think I get that spook and that creep out moment from thrillers because they're so believable, and the things that happen to these characters can really happen to you. And I love getting that spooky feeling, like I love getting nervous and scared, and horror books just don't seem to do that for me. Horror movies, on the other hand, definitely creep the shit out of me. But other than that, yeah, that's just what I think about them so far. And going back into Paul Tremblay's book, there is the suspense and there is the tension and there is a huge focus on a psychological component, which I'm definitely enjoying. So it is, to me, a lot better than The Exorcist, and I hope that people won't judge me for saying that, because obviously The Exorcist is a classic and one of the best of its time, but personally, I'm just connecting a lot more with Paul Tremblay's writing style and the story. And yeah, that is because of the movie that completely ruined The Exorcist for me. But anyway, other than that, along our road trip to the Gold Coast, Mark and I are going to be listening to some true crime podcasts. He got me into them when we went traveling in a camper van around Canada, and we listened to Casefiles. It's like a true crime documentary podcast thing about narrated by this Australian guy, and they are brilliant. So I'll leave that in the description box down below because I highly recommend them, especially if you've got like a long drive ahead of you or just a long commute to work or something. They're just so awesome. They've been amazing along our trip together, me and Mark, and yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into them because we haven't actually listened to one for a couple of months. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend. Sorry that this video is a bit jumbly and mumbly and shaky because I just don't have time to edit right now. I've got to go pack and then run to work in the rain. Yay. But anyway, I hope you guys all have an amazing weekend and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!